Hello. In this tutorial, we will explore the use of a breadboard through a practical example. First of all, we add our Arduino Uno card to our workspace. Components are set to display all. When we switch to the breadboard section, there are classic, small, and mini breadboard options. We add the small breadboard to the workspace. Then connect the ground and voltage lines to the positive and negative rail of the breadboard. Connect the 5-volt output voltage of the Arduino to the positive rail of the breadboard. We can also change the cable color here. Let's make the cable color red because the red line is usually used in schematics to indicate the voltage line. Thus, we carried the 5-volt voltage to the entire positive rail. We could have done the same for the top line. As we mentioned in our previous lessons, you can connect the voltage line to the negative rail, but this may confuse us. So the red line and the positive sign are placed on the breadboard to guide us when building the circuit. Therefore, it will be more favorable to connect the relevant line. And we will carry the ground line. You may not want to cross the cables on top of each other. You can connect the negative rail in this section, or make a connection from here so that the cables do not overlap. Let's set the cable color to black from here. Now the voltage and ground lines of the breadboard are ready. Let's add our items here for LED connections. Make a search with the name LED and select 3 LEDs from here. The default color of the LEDs is red, so let's make one white. And the last one green. Then we need to pick the resistor from the list. Delete the search part here. We already have the resistor at the top. Grab the resistor and set its value to 330 ohms. Change the kiloohm option to ohm. We don't need to choose resistors separately for other LEDs. Select the resistor and press Ctrl+C. Then Ctrl+V. And be multiplied the resistors by pressing Ctrl+V again. So all of our components have been added. Now it's time to place the LEDs and resistors on the breadboard and make the connections. As you can see, there are numberings ranging from 1 to 30 on the breadboard. In this section, there are letter signs from E to E and from F to J. You can also take these signs into account if you wish. Okay, let's start by connecting the red LED to number 5. Then connect the green LED to 15 and the white one to 25. This way you can also ensure that the spacing is even. So we started from 5 and fixed the leg of the LED to 15 and 25. Now let's rotate the resistors. See here, there's a rotate option. We do the same for the other resistors. A circuit may have more than one installation method that works correctly. It can be set up in different ways on the breadboard. I'll mention this in the next example. Now, we have ensured that all resistors are rotated and positioned. Okay, let's connect the first resistor with white LED, and the second with green LED, and the third with red one. The long leg of the LED is anode, and the short leg is cathode. There is no option in Tinkercad to invert legs. In other words, you cannot flip from positive to negative or vice versa. This option is available in the fritzing application, but not here. Now, let's transfer 5 volts to the resistor connected to the long leg of the LED. Set the cable color to gray. Then connect the short leg of the LED to the ground rail, and set the cable color to black. Make sure that the same process is carried out for the other LEDs. The same goes for the last one. In this way, we have completed our connections. We could also connect the LEDs to the bottom block instead of the top. So it's up to your preference. Likewise, you could make the connections from the top block to the bottom block. Remember, the top and bottom of the breadboard work independently of each other. I will briefly explain the operations that occur when the circuit is run. Since we are at the beginning of the tutorial series, it is useful to go into more details because this is important so that those who do not know how to use the breadboard can understand the lessons more easily. We connected the 5-volt voltage and ground line to the breadboard. When we run the circuit, the current first comes to the long leg of the LED through the resistor, and the current will pass through the LED, then comes to the ground line and complete its cycle. So, an electron path is formed here. The current will first pass through the resistor, then it will flow over the LED, and thanks to this current, the LED will light up. The same is true for other LEDs. When we run this simulation, we see that all 3 LEDs light up. We will get the same result when we physically build the same circuit with the real circuit elements. We will continue our breadboard tutorial with a different setup.